This is my first year, and these started off as seeds. I really wish that I've started you on the journey with me. These are turnips. Here we have spinach, beautiful globe that a friend gave me, and the whirligigs wind wind spinners for my grandbabies. Here's a pepper. I'm learning this is compost, a cheaper topsoil, and manure. It looks to me like this topsoil was much more compost than it was topsoil. There is so much large pieces, but I learned that over time, year after year, it will begin to to break down. Here's a raised bed that I made out of a bookcase. I don't know how many seasons I'll get out of it, because we can see that due to the rain, it's already buckling. I purchased this piece at a Habitat for Humanity, and it only had one shelf, so I divided it with salad greens. This is spinach, and I have some turnips here, and this is butter crisp. Then I started off, and they were not even this large. So here I'm spraying some neem oil, because as you can see, I have some little critter that is eating up my rutabaga leaves and some of my cabbage. And so when you're having problems with nematodes, aphids, white moth flies, caterpillars of that such, you should use neem oil and spray it on the underside as well as the top of your leaves. The white areas you see here, is DE. You'll see some here. That is the Campinus earth that I've utilized, and I seen that it wasn't fully satisfying what I needed it for, so I've gone out to get some neem oil. Here's a small pepper that this is some basil that I've got to get in the ground. We're on to my viney plants. This is climbing cucumber. You can see, and there's my neighbor's cat. Great for keeping away the critters. And here, these little vines help with climbing. And I put these stakes here. I'm utilizing them. The politicians go around sticking their little signs in your yards. And so the best way to utilize it after the political campaign is to put them in your yard for climbing vegetables. I have my squash, yellow crookneck squash, and this beauty, look at that little beauty there. All these buds here are gonna be squash. And look, we can look down into there, and you see there's a pickle cucumber. Got tomatoes here that I started, and peppers that I started from little itty bitty containers. And I have beefsteak tomatoes. I have a row of tomatoes here that I'm going to take out and maybe lay to the side and replant them with a few of those limbs up and deadhead them, hopefully to get some growth. But these are large enough now where I'm going to separate them. And look at this beauty here. We have a bloom. That bloom represents a fruit. So I've got to get out here and do some separating. Here's another. Here's another with a bloom. So I've got to get out here and do some separating because tomatoes need the minimum of 3 feet between them. So this beauty has a bud on it also. We're coming along real good. I'm just proud because this is my first year doing this. I have some lantana and marigold along with some pickled cucumbers, and got me some. This is going to be Silver Queen corn here. My marigolds help with, as well as the lantana, help to deter mosquitoes. And these are heaps of manure. Within a day or so, I'm going to add more topsoil mixed with black cow manure. You see here, these turnips. Let me see. These are Blue Max collars, actually. Have dealt with some type of imposter eating. I have some beans. I have some Kentucky Wonders with yellow wax beans, and another bean that I can't name right off. But this piece right here was once used for a child's playroom, and the teddy bears were stored in here. So you know, you got to DIY, do it yourself, and reuse and recycle. Restore, reuse, and recycle. And so you got things growing pretty good in this small spot. This also is a spot that my son dug out, and actually he used that crate, that flat right there, to actually cut it out. Now this here is mullein. Mullein is great for respiratory issues. Now, one thing I'm doing in my garden is making sure that each of the plants, whether floral or for the sake of just eating, have medicinal value. There's my pile of dirt I'm mixing. I need to add more compost and manure. That's a project where I had a path coming through the yard that I'm pulling up all of the stones, and I'm going to utilize them here in the garden. My lovely, lovely chorizo that my husband made for me. Now these flats here are going to be utilized for my separation of tomatoes, and also as some of these climbing vines stick out more, grow more. I'm going to, such as this watermelon, this is going to need a lot of space soon. So I'm going to remove one or two of these watermelon that are pretty in close proximity to one another, and I'm going to replace them into another flat over there. This is collard greens that have gone to seed, and I'm just laying them out here to dry. Some fresh herbs, some dill, basil, and what is this? I can't think of this right off. Let me pinch a piece off of here. It smells like sage. Now I have a bit of a problem over here. My old cat, that's wandering, is using this for a litter box. Couldn't find any place for extra rows of corn because my husband did not want me to dig any more spots up, and I was making this my own private sanctuary, and thought it fit that I would utilize the back row for growing my corn. Now I have all these that I still got to put in, and I'm going to separate some of these Xena. And this is my potato vine. It's time for me to add some dirt, and looks like I'm gonna need another tire real soon. Now this was a bag that had manure in it, and it rained, and so I caught some water, and I've been using it on my plants over here. And here's composting pile, and I need to stir. My husband cut his grass and put a bit too much of his grass in there. I need to stir this. Now, this Corona is what my son used to make that nice cut for that place over there. I'm gonna utilize this. These herbs are here. These cute little flats. This is flat, and I'm gonna, you see, I've added those to the side. So this is gonna put several different little flowers or so that'll look nice together. But this I'm gonna use, I got little, you see, got little pouches on it. And so I'm going to use each pouch for a different herb. Well, this has been Deborah. I want to say thank you for joining me. And enjoy your gardening.